It is a great day in SimWorld, everybody. Good morning and welcome to SimWorld today. I'm B-Ron as always, and as always with me, my co-host Yells. Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Top of the morning once again, SimWorld. Today we're back at you, man. We are back at you. What we talking about today,
Back,
sir?
back at you, and with a lot more news here. So the first thing we heard yesterday about Royce Anderson's three choices for teams. So, which one of those do you think would be the best landing spot for him? As a reminder for those choices, they are. Trying to find it here. My notes.
Look,
Struggling here.
I got your back,
I
man.
got it
This is
though.
I'm here for you, man. It was
Hey,
Yacht Club.
I
It was
appreciate it.
Yacht Club.
Yeah.
It was the AT Aliens, and it was Lone Star Basketball. So I'm gonna go
Thank
through
you.
these
Thank you,
one
sir.
by
Appreciate
one. I got you, man. It's
it. Yeah.
teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work, baby. So here's what I got. I'm gonna go through them all, and then I'll give my opinion if that's all right with you this morning. This lovely morning.
Of course. Of course.
All right, so
By all means.
Yacht Club losing Jay Laster, losing their minds, if you ask me. They're losing Dominic Bianco's moving on to college, so he's going to do his thing in SWUB. I mentioned all the players that they still have remaining on that squad. I believe yesterday on our show, when you talk about the Trey Willises, the Tamir Johnsons, the DeMarco Grahams. Good Lord, the DeMarco Grahams, 6'10", 230. Oh, my goodness. And then still Tyshawn Eason, who rarely got used last season, and Adam Max if he returns. Not to mention a host of other people with Garrett Hart, Ramon Escobar,
Right.
Mr. Cool, Razor Ramon, as I like to call him. They've got these guys coming back. So Royce, where he was, wanting to be the number one guy is what I'm assuming. I haven't heard anything from him, but that was some of what the deal was with him in Bay Area. That team was just so stacked, and he was like, "Yo, it's good to be out here getting wins, but number one, we didn't win the whole thing." Let's not forget, everybody, they did not win the race to one. But he had the shining moments playing along Caden Ship, Trey Hyman, Xavier Pope at times, who's supposed to be returning, and other people. So Yacht Club, to me, not the best fit for him. But then again, we don't know if they have a guaranteed number one with Bianco and Laster gone. So maybe he fits there as a solidified number one and he can shine. But there's a lot of talent there. Yacht Club, not my favorite pick for him. Probably a favorite pick for a lot of people as far as stacking a team and stacking the deck. Sounds good. AT Aliens, however you want to say it. The troubled franchise or club in SimWorld Prep, between all of they just had some crazy stuff. Some players with some really interesting things going on. You see the air quotes.
Yes, unfortunately, they had
the
it rough
Malachi
there.
Boots, we'll see if he's returned. He was suspended for the remainder of the season. Isaiah Rose, what was it, Mr. Thomas? I can't remember. Look, they don't have anybody. Who's the guy? You got Adam Mahmoud that shoots lights out from deep. But other than that, he doesn't really go get his own shot. But you free him up with someone like Royce Anderson, and Royce Anderson can go get a bucket. I'm saying Royce Anderson could probably average. We talk about those CKC numbers from last year. Royce Anderson could approach those if he's playing with AT Aliens. So if you're not seeing where I'm going right now, I'm thinking that's a really good look if I'm him. Then lastly, you got Lone Star Basketball. My Texas teams, I rep for my Texas teams, but that is a Dallas squad in the Dallas area. So, there's a word I would use that I'm not going to use. Get it how you live, Lone Star Basketball. Jace McGee's out. Derek Long gone. No more defense. What is their identity? You got Doug Dobbins breathing down the coach's neck with Duncan Woods out there. We know Nene Gibson's coming back. Nene Gibson can go get a bucket, but Nene Gibson's been probably the most inconsistent star that we've had for the last two seasons, entering his last season in SimWorld Prep. Royce Anderson could be a great piece there, and then playing in a market like that Dallas area, playing for a Doug Dobbins who's very well connected, got the big bright lights. You got a big, what's that, man? I mean, that's like a college pro, semi-pro level stadium there in front of a lot of eyes.
Right.
That's probably a really good look for Royce Anderson. But for my money, I said all that to say I want to see him go to ATL and drop about 32 a game. That's what I'm shooting for, B-Ron.
Okay, okay, I like that. I like that honestly, and a great breakdown,
No pun,
yo.
no
So I
pun intended
appreciate
on
that
that's what I'm
insight.
shooting for with him going to ATL. Sorry about that.
No, no. Oh man, I love it. I love it. I love puns. That's so good. That's so good. I love that, man. I honestly, I have to agree with you there. I have to agree. When I think about being the guy, especially at the prep level, there's no one else really around you who can do what you do. And if Royce Anderson goes to the AT Aliens, there's no one there on that roster right now that can do what he does and can score like he can score, like we saw him score this past season for the Breakers there. So I would, as much as I'd like to see him return home to play for the Yacht Club, I think the AT Aliens is his best spot because he didn't have to share the ball with Adam Max, Tamir Johnson, uh, Trey Willis, all the kids down there.
He can
He
put up a
can
thousand
be, like you
shots a
said,
game.
SBKC. Right, if he wants to. He had to share with Mahmoud, but that's about it. And Mahmoud's not gonna want, you know, 20, 30 shots a game.
Yeah, he's not
He might
ball
get like
dominant. You get
10 or
him open,
15,
he
you know what I
takes
mean? Yeah,
his.
right. Exactly. Exactly. So I think that's the best spot for him as well. You like rumors, yells?
Not so much, but we got to do him on this show. What you got?
Yeah, so Coach Josh Robinson returning to coach Rocky Mountain Monsters. He is reportedly unhappy with the current guards in his region, and he again reportedly will be looking elsewhere for guards to come play for Rocky Mountain. What do you think about that?
Should have been looking for some guards last season too. If you ask, that was the only thing they were missing. That team was absolutely stacked. But you got Zane Davis there. He's an adequate baller. You know, he may have worked on his game. He may have made some jumps and some strides over this offseason. May continue to. Lucas Banks handled the ball, but obviously he's not a guard. I have a whole, as everybody knows, I have a problem when we start talking about positions and putting somebody in a role. Just who's going out there and filling the role you need basketball wise? Do you have a facilitator? Do you have somebody that can guard the other team's guard? Cool, rock with that. What is a guard per se nowadays? You know what I mean? Other than who you match up with defensively. Because anybody can be a facilitator. These kids are so skilled nowadays. And then secondly, Coach Robinson, unhappy with something. I've heard this story before. So he was a
Oh
kick
man.
butt coach last. Hey man, we're on this show to keep it real. He was a kick butt coach last season. He had to step away, unfortunately, for a moment, but he had his frustrations while his team was winning. So, not shocked that he's not pleased if that's true. But either way it goes, I think he's going to do a great job whatever he finds. And then I think I'll make my last point on this. It's just another scenario of one of these teams maybe being stacked. Like if you go out and you find too much, who did they lose here? They're losing Ireland early. They're losing Kenneth Gaffney. But you have a host of other guys. You got Justin Bell. If you set him free, he's gonna go bananas. Booby Walker, if you get him in the
Right.
right position, athletic monster, he's gonna get it done. Daquan McDougal is a baller. Put the touches in his hand. We already know about Lucas Banks' versatile game, and Maury Washington, 6'9", 250, may come back even bigger. Like he's a load. Just a
Yeah.
point guard that wants to pass the ball, play a little defense. I think that's all you need. I don't think you're looking for a star here. I don't think you try and bring somebody from across the country. There's a lot of kids in his region to take a look at. But don't
Yeah.
do too
Yeah.
much, man.
I had the list up here, matter of
Don't
fact.
do too much. I'll let you
Uh
talk about that part, but don't do too much, coach.
yeah. So when I think of guards, I'm looking at a few things. Height, guards are usually between like at the professional level. Guards are usually like 6'3", maybe like talking point guards maybe. But again, looking at the list of players here, the number 3 player in the Mountain West region, Jarrell Beauchamp. He's listed at 6'1", 177.
He's a
Carson City,
bucket too,
Nevada.
B-Ron. He is a bucket.
He's a good defender. He can create his own shot from the perimeter. There's another player here looking at it. That's number 9, Corvin Cotrell.
No good luck. Get it
Uh,
out.
6'4", 223, 15 years old from Utah. He's a very active defender. Gonna chase the defender. Gonna chase the ball off screens, that kind of stuff. A good movement shooter as well. And then there's one more here, number 10, or number 10 and number 11. Gunther Fenn and Kyrie Mana, both of them listed at 6'3". Fenn 216, Mana 168 pounds listed there anyway. Fenn from Nevada, Mana from Arizona. They're both slashers, so they're both going to be active, want to move without the ball or attack the basket when they get opportunities to do so. I feel like there's options in the region for him. He just has to take a look at those kids and see who wants to bring them in. Because I don't think he needs much though at the guard position, quote unquote, because he has players like Zane Davis who are already playing that guard position as is. And I know we're in the era of positionless basketball, especially at the prep level, but I think you still have to look at it from some standpoint of who's the best player to fit that role, whatever you're looking for.
Look,
If it's a
everybody.
6'1" guy, it's a 6'1" guy.
Yeah, 6'1", 6'1". I mean, even height. I'm there with you, B-Run. I don't even care how tall he is. Well, who's he defending? But since everybody likes to
Right.
get into the NBA lens of everything, I'll just say this: like the Denver Nuggets, and this will sound crazy. Denver Nuggets won the championship. We watched some of these last teams that have won and made deep runs in the NBA. This is gonna sound crazy. Jokic is an absolute megastar. It took me a while to say it. I mean, where I rank him in terms of bigs, I'm shocked myself. I won't get into that, where I ultimately end up ranking him. Jamal Murray, love his game. He's an individual star. You put those guys on other teams, they don't look like that. So it's about the collection, the proper collection of talent that you have on the team, and it'll highlight players and make them look even better. You don't always have to go get the best players. So when I look at this Jarrell Bokamp, man, if you're not looking at him in your area where you can bring him in for essentially $0, you ain't got to relocate him or nothing. You do that. He can get you buckets. He's an on-ball defender, ferocious defender. But at the same time, does he fit your team? Like, you're just not looking
Right.
for people that are
Yeah.
ranked. Who fits your squad? So
Right.
that's my take on it. I'll leave it at that. I think I said enough.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I understand. I get you. So, we spoke about it a little bit yesterday, but more news come out on the Jay Lasser situation. Sources are saying that he's all but gone from the yacht club. So how do they respond? We spoke yesterday about again possibly getting Royce Anderson to fill in that role and take over that kind of thing. How does that work for the yacht club in your opinion?
I think I said it yesterday. Not to be too hard on my man Jay Lasher. I think he's got hell of a game. Like I said, I think as we see him continue to grow as a player, not just in stature. There's a lot of these guys we're going to see down the road that are going to be a lot better than what we're seeing them now. It happens every day. Kobe Bryant was at
Absolutely.
one point,
Yeah.
I think he was ranked like number 37 in high school. Kobe Bryant, the greatest basketball player ever lived.
Great.
Don't at me. Don't at me. Yeah. So, yeah, Jay Laster, he put up, 13, close to 14 points a game last season. He led the team in three-pointers made, shot around 44%. But there were other guys who were giving production. Like I said, you give Trey Willis a little more run. If they bring in Royce Anderson, or anyone else,
Or yeah, Kevon Jackson. out there
Kevon
too.
Jackson, some of the
That-
other people there that are from that Florida area, and they have a few people there that they can let loose. That's the thing about prep level basketball. It's a turnstile. You know what I mean? People are coming and going. You get your
Yeah.
opportunity. You earn your stripes. It's the young lion rule. You may come in at 15, 16. You don't play much. 16, 17. You get that time and you get to kill it. I don't think this team's missing Jay Laster is what I'm getting at. Life without Jay Laster is going to be pretty sweet, pretty much the same. Coach has another year under his belt, Coach Laster. His big is that his uncle, his cousin? I don't recall. But he has another year under his belt to see a little bit of what his players do, and I think he's going to improve upon last year. So I won't call it addition by subtraction at all because Jay Lash is a great player, but I think for coach and some opportunities for him to see what best fits his roster. That's my theme of the day, right? I think the team will be even better because he'll find more symbiotic pieces to go around the team. And Jay Lash is 13. He got lost in the shuffle quite often last season between if they were going to run stuff through Adam Max. We knew Dominic Bianco was a guy, but there was times where he fell back, and we even saw Tamir Johnson, DeMarco Graham get going later in the season. So Jay Lasher had to sacrifice his game, but the team did not sacrifice anything without Jay Lasher's sacrifice. So I think they're all right.
I think they'll be fine as well. I touched on it yesterday too. They've got plenty of options there already on the team, and then if you bring in Royce Anderson, a Kevon Jackson, or anybody else for that matter, they'll be fine filling that role. It's not a doom and gloom time to freak out, panic button. None of that. Too early for that. We're the season hasn't even started yet. Let's not go there yet.
Yeah.
However, though, this leads perfectly into my next topic.
Is this a segue, D-Ron? Is this a great segue?
Yes,
you know I'm a fan of the segue.
It is.
I'll never ride one. Those things scare the hell out of me. But verbally, verbal segues, I'm all about it.
Yeah, so Myron Murray is going to be joining us here on the SimWorld TV side of things, and he's no longer coaching at Run DMV. Is that a problem for them? Can the Run recover without Coach Murray? Can they run without him or whatever?
Hey, so first of all, congratulations, Coach Murray, getting out of that hectic coaching scene. I know it is crazy. You having to deal with all kinds of egos, figuring out how to do the most with the least. So congrats to that. Welcome to the SimWorld TV team. We're excited to have you. Most of the team is going to get to work with you. I'm excited to not work with you because I know you're a maniac, sir. I know this. I know him, guys. I'm staying away from him. If he's on SimWorld today, I will be on SimWorld tonight. So yeah, he's an absolute maniac. SimWorld tomorrow. Straight up. But yeah, so Coach Murray though, no, it's gonna be hard without Coach Murray. It's gonna be very, very hard for Run DMV. Are they gonna run? Probably not. Are they gonna be winners? I don't want to be a hater, I don't want to come across that way, but they're going to struggle. That's all I can say, man. They led the league in three-point attempts per game last season at 19 per game. They were number 4 in the league, 73 points a game they were putting up. He had those guys balling in every way. He maximized them. Now, they got some skill on that team. Nick Hugo is still there. We all love Nick Hugo.
Yeah.
Keith Singleton locked down. What's that?
Nick Hugo's great. Charles Pinkard too.
A monster. Keith Singleton, one of my that's my kind of guy. That glue defensive guy that's gonna dog you all the way up the court. I remember that one game we saw him where he had 3 straight turnovers. I mean, he was locking them down on the press. And then John Hudgens. I don't think there's a bigger John Hudgens fan out there than me. I think we're gonna see him in years to come. Yeah, I likened him to Scottie Pippen. People think I'm a crazy for saying that. You'll see that I'm a savant. My foresight is unreal. John Hudgens, great. Keith Singleton, like I said, locking people down up and down the court. Charles Pinkard knocking down threes along with everybody else on that team. But I don't think that this team plays that way next season without Coach Myron Murray. Now they have a current vacant spot. I'm hearing Coach Sonny Jackson out of Bad Boys. Yeah, you hear it here first. May be interested in that role, and I hear a couple of guys coming into SimWorld Prep may be interested in that role as well. So we'll have to see what Run DMV does there. But Coach Murray had those guys running and gunning. He played to their strengths. It took a little bit of tinkering, but he said, I'm going to put this guy in this role, this guy in this role. And that whole thing I talk about with team chemistry, right guys in the right places, he maximized these kids' ability on the court, and now they're getting top-tier D1 looks. I do think Charles Pinkard is going to get a big chance to shine this season, so I look forward to that.
Yeah, he definitely will.
Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to translate to wins.
So, I with the talent in that in that DMV area. I think whoever comes in and takes over will be fine. I think there's a lot of good talent in that area to pick from, and get on the team. Again, witness work, Bruno John Misty, Kel McKnight, uh, even J.C. King, Kamar Woodbury. There's so many players in that Northeast region that you
Jay
can go
Laster.
and get. Yeah,
He's
right,
from
Jay Laster,
Virginia.
right, exactly, Jay Laster, yeah, from Virginia, yep. So there is talent out there, and I think that whoever comes in and takes over, as long as they get right to work, kind of right away, they can get the team set up. But you have high expectations. That's the only thing about that. You have high expectations, and can you live up to them? In your first season, probably not. Second, third season, perhaps, but you got to get there first. It's tough cookies try to replace Coach Myra Murray.
True indeed. True
Um,
indeed.
yeah. So, our final topic here for this morning. We have been learning a lot about the owners and investment groups in around SimWorld Prep. Through my series, Follow the Money, and
Oh, shameless plug.
plug.
Good Lord.
Non-shameless plug for that one.
Cheap
If you have
pop.
not checked that out, number one, check that out. There are teams that I have covered before. If you got here and you missed, Lone Star, check them out. ATL, check them out too. Anyway, is all this quote big money good for prep level basketball? This is more of a top level NBA kind of thing. I will take this one first to start because I have a quick story. It's a little bit different, but maybe somewhat relatable. When I was growing up and I was playing baseball, I was maybe like 6, 7 years old. Coaches really wanted to win, and they wanted to win so bad that they were extremely, extremely competitive, to the point where it made it not fun for us kids. So that's the one thing that I remember from that point in my life, and it kind of made me go, I don't know, if this is fun for me anymore. So in that respect, I know we're talking about owners versus coaches, a different thing, but I think it kind of bleeds over in terms of that and how that affects the basketball or whatever sport you're playing as a kid.
Well, first of all, excellent job on that shameless plug there, getting your Chris Jericho on early this morning. I love it. Good Lord, Mick Foley in the house. Mick Foley in the house.
Real quick. If you're not listening, if you're not listening to the show, or if you're not reading the Follow Money series, you just made the list. Go ahead.
You just made the list. I love it. I love it. More money in this. I think it's great for the league. Obviously, there's more eyes, more exposure. I think it's great for the players if they learn how to manipulate that exposure. The power manipulation is an ugly word, but it's not a bad thing if you understand what it is. They can use that to their advantage, know when to shut up, know when to talk, know how to maneuver behind the scenes, talk to those investors, and utilize what you have. And then if that kind of money is not in your squad, that can be a pro and a con too. So I think it's good for the players. And then what you say about the competitiveness, if it's a competition, if I'm sweating, there's only one reason why I'm sweating, and that's to win, man. I'm about competition, so I don't know what the other part of it is. Hey, winning is not always fun. It is not fun. So is it good for me? Yes. I absolutely agree or believe that it is good. There's more money in it. Is good for SimWorld Prep. It's good for the players. It's good for the organizations. If those teams are winning, it's good for those investors' pocketbooks. So I'm all about it.
And it's preparing everybody for the next level, because who knows, these owners of these teams might want to rise up the ranks as well with the players too. So in a way, I guess it's preparing everybody for the next level. Speaking of preparing, look, I'm gonna let y'all go prepare for y'all day.
He's
we
here
had
again.
enough time here. had a fun time here this morning. We appreciate y'all for real. Everybody, have a good rest of your day. We're out of time. Remember, guys, just because it's the off season does not mean that you can't
see the game
and
and be the game.
Be the game.
Get out of his ear, producer.
Sir,
Get out.